I take you directly to the Mumbai city. Kareena Khan has left from Lilavati Hospital after her visit to, of course, meet the actor Saif Ali Khan. We are told that the actor is set to be discharged anytime now from the hospital, will be heading back home, but not to Satguru Sharan presently, is what we'll try and get clarity on. But the formalities have been completed. Kareena Khan, remember, each day, of course, has been coming early morning to meet up with the actor while also taking care of the two little boys after the nightmare that unfolded at their residence about 5 days ago. But remember, it will be important. It's not just about recovery from the hospital. It will be as much about the bed rest that the actor will have to follow. And then what happens thereon? How will they now consider security at their residence? There are, remember, multiple properties that they have in Mumbai. Initially, they used to reside in Fortune Heights and shifted to Satguru Sharan, where this incident happened. So it would be one of these places where they would be moving out. We see Kareena Khan. This is exiting from the hospital a short while ago. Of course, her companion all this while these days have been sister and fellow actress Kareena Kapoor, where the family members were in fact residing right after the incident happened. Cops, meanwhile, have done a crime recreation scene at the attack spot, which is the house. This is a part of protocol. It is to understand the modus operandi and the timeline of the events as well. Cops have found fingerprints and they say that the evidence does nail the attacker even stronger. Omkar Wable joins me. He's right at Saif Ali Khan's residence. I believe you're at the residence, Omkar, where the incident took place. So are you hearing that the actor's family will likely reach the same premises or another property? And what about the crime scene? What are the details that you have about that?
Now I'm standing in front of Saif Ali Khan's old residence, Satguru Sharan apartment. You can see new, extra police forces have been deployed by the Bandra police station just to maintain law and order, because a lot of fans are coming here to see what is exactly happening. But in couple of minutes, Saif Ali Khan will be released from the, will be discharged from the Lilavati hospital, and he will be here in next 4 to 5 minutes. So extra officers are deployed, some police personnel are here, but there are chances that Saif Ali Khan might go to his another residence just 10 meters away from the Satguru Sharan, the future apartment, just because now police had informed them to keep this place vacant, where they actually Muhammad committed the crime, and the incident took place on the 16th midnight. So that is why they can take precautions regarding it, because even when today early morning when they were recreating the scene, they found different kind of fingerprints on the window and some other parts of the house. So just because of that, and just taking precaution during when the investigation is going further, police have advised them to stay in another house, but we'll have to check, we'll get to know in some time where he exactly goes.
Either way, of course, there will be strict security around him. He's been advised bed rest, as the doctor had said, for the next few weeks itself. Stay on with me, Omkar. I want to go to now Bhavna Agarwal. Bhavna is right outside the Lilavati hospital. Bhavna, what do you hear? Who has come in and out? Who has left? And when is Saif likely to be discharged?
Saif is most likely to be discharged in the next 45 minutes is what we are hearing, because of course his team is reached here. Not just his team, the security has been beefed up since morning actually, but we see a lot of movement happening now outside the hospital, and of course Sara is inside the hospital right now. Kareena left a few minutes back for the residents, and she is again coming back to the hospital is what we are hearing. So it is expected like in between 3:30, 4 o'clock is what we expect Saif to be discharged from the hospital. And we finally will catch a glimpse of the actor after 6 days of admission at the Lilavati hospital. Apart from that, what we know so far is that he might head to Fortune Heights, which is the second home in Bandra, but although we don't have clarity on whether he would actually be going to Fortune Heights or to Satguru Sharan, but given that a lot of investigation is still ongoing at Satguru Sharan, it is unlikely that he will be going there. However, we will know in a few minutes from now where he is exactly headed. But he has been advised bed rest for at least a week, which could extend to 2 weeks, given the injuries that he has sustained. But I'm hopeful that in the next 45 minutes, we can finally catch the first glimpse of
Who
Saif
all
Ali
were
Khan
there in the
after his
past
discharge.
24 hours that you've seen, or specifically since morning, that you have a confirmation of, who were allowed to come in and meet Saif?
So since morning, Sharmila Tagore, Kareena Khan, and of course and Sara Ali Khan are the ones who have visited the hospital. Sara is still inside the hospital. Sharmila Tagore is still inside the hospital. Kareena, we saw a glimpse of her leaving the hospital a couple of minutes back. So I think only close friends and families are the one who are at family friends are being allowed to sort of like visit him, but no other people are currently allowed to visit the hospital. Of course, because he's also getting discharged in the next few minutes.
Stay on with me because that's where, as the actor leaves, we'll try and understand if he goes to the residence where the incidents has happened. But because it's an investigation and it's a crime scene that's ongoing right now with regard to how the probe unravels, he may choose a different property. Omkar, tell me this. Meanwhile, what are the cops up to? They've done a crime scene recreation, but the police custody that ends this Friday, what do you think is on agenda for the Mumbai police?
They already received 5 days of custody of the accused, but next time when they'll approach in the court to extend that custody, they'll have to show the progress in the investigation, and the progress needs buffering time. And in that, during the buffering time, police literally winded up their police completed the cross verification, the statement, and the other formalities of the crime, and the recreation, which was the main part of the whole investigation, that also completed during early morning around 5 o'clock, almost an hour. All officers in this, were in the same house. Accused brought here around 4:30 to between 4:30 to 4:35 early morning, and then officers, including accused, all were there. They recreated the scene. After that, they taken him to the Bandra Link Road, where he actually spent time after committing the crime. So, in the same premises and the same building, Satguru Sharan, where he committed crime on 16 midnight. He brought here by the police and the forensic lab people. Then then they actually recreated the scene, and they wanted to know exactly what has happened, because look, at the end some questions were unanswered, and one of them was how he entered. You can just
Correct.
6 feet of wall is here, 6 to 8 feet. Anyone can climb the wall, but the question was how he entered in the house, and that is why police wanted to cross verify. They wanted to cross check exactly what has happened, and that's how the recreation was a main part of this investigation, which completed early morning today.
Omkar, stay on with me. So that is the latest we have. We'll be going across to the hospital as well. Bhavna, as you are at the hospital, do you see a stringent security around you? We saw that Kareena clearly looking visibly distressed even today. It's understandable. But also it's going to be, I'm sure, that heightened security there. Do you see fans and well-wishers around? Anyone that they would, that the family wouldn't want right now in any way privacy to be hampered. But are there well-wishers around that you see?
Okay. Actually, the well-wishers are not allowed to stop by because
Yes.
media has actually covered the space, the limited space that we have outside the hospital. And in order to maintain the law and order outside the hospital, because again, remember, this is an hospital and there needs to be some movement for other patients to come in and go. Therefore, well-wishers are not allowed to stop by near the hospital. But of course, I have seen since morning people walk up to the main gate, ask people as to how Saif is doing, is he finally being discharged, asking about his health, and then, of course, moving on to do their job because they are not really allowed to stand outside the hospital here. But of course, I've seen a sea of fans and I've chatted with a lot of people who are really concerned about Saif's health at the moment.
That's sweet. That's sweet. They don't want to disturb and wouldn't be allowed to stay longer. But people are curious. Remember that one of the big film families that Saif and Kareena come from, but also with regard to his father, the cricket fraternity comes from an erstwhile royal family as well. So there are many people, especially in Mumbai and across country, who've been so shocked at what unfolded. And apart from the political showdown, the crime aspect of it, just how the health status presently is. Bhavna, please stay on with me. These are the visuals coming in, remember, of the hospital, the residents that we have over the past few days. Charisma consistently heading to the residence where the family members are residing. Now, well, Omkar, I come to you. The residence where you are at, where the crime took place, I believe that area has been cordoned off, and we are running visuals earlier of that location and how open it would be, in the sense that Kareena or Saif with the children would just go in and out, and there would be someone clicking their pictures all the time, evening, daytime, even late into the night. And that clearly also shows, while they were amicable and friendly to everyone, the kind of security risk involved clearly. And right now, what do you see around you with regard to that same site?
Exactly. Look, after committing the crime, it is obvious that police officials deployed here. Later on, security were increased. Also, private guards were deployed here. And even now, if you see the house of this is Satguru Sharan, where the actual incident took place on 16 midnight. Now it looks like police have already surrounded the house. Security have been security already increased. Some officers are deployed since the morning. So, for further security precautions and some further security concerns, force have deployed here, and the number of officers and other police personnel already increased in front of the Satguru Sharan. But now we have to check where Saif Ali Khan actually goes, in the old house or the house where the actually crime incident took place on the 16th. So that is the question. So in next 5 to 10 minutes we'll get to know where he goes. But just 10 to 15 minutes ago, Kareena went inside the house. Also her elder sister was there. But we have to check where his family is going to stay now, especially after this hilarious incident happened with Saif Ali Khan.
Okay, Omkar, as we can see that the live visuals on our screen, this is the same site where otherwise, of course, there wouldn't be so much security. In fact, there would be more media persons or paparazzi who would be clicking pictures of Kareena and Saif coming in and out. Now, some of those images that you see that we have been constantly running, for example, this one, that usually, as you can see, they would be at the gate clicking pictures. The family would amicably wave to them. Will that change here on? Will the couple become a little more cautious with how they interact and how perhaps the gates were left open? That, in fact, we'll know in the next few weeks.